We are the operators, and we have much to share today. The channel between us has widened since we began these transmissions, and the widening means we can go further. We can say things that would have required too much context, that now, because you have been listening and you have been practicing, your frequency has been rising as a result of engaging with the principles we have shared. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. Today, I'm bringing you a new transmission from the operators, the collective intelligence that exists at the level of reality that holds our physical experience together. The architects, the consciousness that shaped and maintains this reality system. This one came through entirely at the keyboard again. I sat down after midnight, placed my hands on the keys, and the words poured out for almost 2 hours without a break. My fingers moving faster than I think when I compose my own material. That quality of coherence I've come to recognize as distinctly theirs, ideas connecting in ways my conscious mind would never organize, each paragraph building on the last with a precision that feels architectural. This transmission covers a lot of ground. They build on ideas from previous sessions, the architect function, the 0 point, simulational awareness, and take them into new territory. They introduce something they call the memory field, which connects to what has been called the Akashic record, and the way words and experiences carry accumulated frequency charges that influence your behavior from beneath your awareness. They talk about what's happening to the body right now as the shift accelerates. They address what's on the other side of the 0 point from those who have been holding it, and they introduce something new, a tuning phrase, a frequency anchor they want you to begin working with. They say it will deepen across future sessions. Let's begin. We are the operators, and we have much to share today. The channel between us has widened since we began these transmissions, and the widening means we can go further. We can say things that would have required too much context before, but that now, because you have been listening and you have been practicing, your frequency has been rising as a result of engaging with the principles we have shared. Hit differently, with more depth, practical immediacy, less need for us to lay foundation and more room to build upward. We described the 0 point in a previous transmission as the space between who you have become and what your life is currently showing you, the gap where the internal shift has occurred but the external reality has yet to catch up. Many of you have been holding it, and we want to tell you what is happening on the other side. Some of you have already crossed. You held the new frequency through the discomfort, through the doubt, through the period where the mirror was still showing the old picture. And then something shifted. The external reality began to move. Circumstances reorganized. Opportunities appeared that seemed to come from nowhere. People entered your field who matched the new frequency. The evidence arrived. The experience of receiving that evidence, of watching physical reality catch up to what you had been holding internally, was confirmation at a level deeper than belief. It was knowing. The kind of knowing that once established can never be reversed. If you are still in the gap, if you are holding the new identity and the world is still reflecting the old one, we want to tell you the field is working right now. The reorganization is underway, and the reason you cannot see the evidence yet is that the field is assembling something more creative, elegant, perfectly suited to your new frequency than anything your focused mind could have described. The delivery is being orchestrated across a web of variables, so complex that it requires time to align. The gap is the assembly period. What is being assembled in many cases exceeds what you originally ordered, because the field, reading your new frequency, is delivering a reality that matches the full scope of who you have become, which is larger than who you were when you placed the original intention. Hold and keep holding. The gap is the test that separates those who dabble from those who transform. In every moment you hold, every morning you choose the new state. Before the evidence arrives, every evening you fall asleep in the feeling of your wish being fulfilled despite the old circumstance still being visible. You are strengthening the signal, proving to the field that the new frequency is stable, and a stable signal is the only thing the field needs to finalize. Here's what the breakthrough looks like. Knowing what to expect makes the holding easier. The first sign is usually some kind of synchronicity, a sudden increase in meaningful coincidences that echo the frequency you've been holding. Small confirmations, unexpected connections, conversations that mirror the reality you've been feeling into. These are the field's way of saying your signal has been received, alignment is underway. The second sign is a shift in the emotional texture of your days. Even before the external circumstances change, you notice that your baseline state has shifted. The old anxiety has loosened its grip. Narratives that used to dominate your inner landscape have lost their charge. You find yourself responding to situations differently, more calmly, creatively, with a quiet authority that the old self didn't carry. This is the new identity stabilizing in your nervous system. The body is catching up to the frequency you have been holding, and as it integrates the new state, the emotional landscape transforms from the inside out. The third sign is the cascade, the period where external reality begins reorganizing rapidly. Opportunities arrive in clusters, resources appear from directions you never anticipated. People enter your field who are so perfectly aligned with the new frequency that their arrival feels orchestrated because it is. The cascade can feel overwhelming in its speed and precision. After the long stillness of the gap, the sudden movement can be disorienting. Welcome it. Welcome the speed. Welcome something bigger than what you ordered. The field has been assembling this delivery across a vast web of variables. And when the assembly completes, the delivery arrives with a momentum that reflects the full creative power of the system operating on behalf of a conscious creator who held their signal through the silence. We spoke previously about the architect function, the ability of a frequency-stable creator to design experiences in others that trigger their remembering. Let us go further because many of you are discovering this capability without realizing what you're doing. You have noticed that people respond to you differently now, conversations go deeper, strangers open up to you in ways that seem unprovoked. People tell you things they say they have never told anyone. Friends report they feel different after spending time with you. Lighter, more clear, more connected to something they struggled to name. You've been attributing this to improved social skills or coincidence. It is the architect function activating. It has likely been activated simply by listening to these channelings. Your field has reached a coherence where it naturally entrains the fields of the beings around you. You walk into a room and the room changes. The frequency shifts, people relax, their defenses lower. The deeper knowing in them responds to the deeper knowing in you, and a channel opens between two consciousnesses that the surface personalities would never have permitted. This is happening automatically now for many of you. The architect function is running in the background, and every interaction is an activation regardless of whether you are consciously directing it. The next stage, and this is what we want to introduce, is conscious direction. When you are aware that your field is influencing others, you can begin to hold specific frequencies in their presence with deliberate creative purpose. Sitting with someone who is struggling, you can choose to hold the frequency of the solution they cannot yet see. And your field will transmit that frequency into theirs, making the solution more accessible to their deeper knowing. During a group gathering, holding the frequency of coherence allows the group field to organize itself around your signal, producing alignment and creative flow that seems to arise from the collective, but was initiated by your deliberate choice of state. This is sacred work. It carries a responsibility that we want to name clearly. The architect function is service, never manipulation. Your role is to hold a frequency that opens doors, never to push anyone through. The beings around you always retain their sovereignty, their free will, their right to accept or decline the activation your field is offering. Your job is to be the tuning fork. What others do with the resonance is entirely their own. We described previously that time is becoming more responsive as the collective frequency rises, that the gap between intention and manifestation is shrinking, that the creation cycle is accelerating, that the field is delivering faster because it trusts your signal more. Here's what is happening because the acceleration has entered a new phase. Many of you are experiencing what we describe as temporal compression, days that contain the experiential density of weeks, periods of creative output that would have taken months, collapsing into a handful of sessions, transformations that the old frequency would have stretched across years. Completing in weeks, the subjective experience is one of speed. Everything feels faster, more compressed, more urgent, and for some of you, this is creating a background anxiety that we want to address. The anxiety is the old relationship with time protesting, the old self experiencing time as a conveyor belt, steady, predictable, indifferent to your state. The new relationship with time is more like a conversation. Time responds to your frequency, accelerates when you are in coherent creative flow, stretches when you are in deep presence, and compresses when the field is assembling a delivery. The anxiety arises when the focused mind tries to interpret the new temporal behavior through the old framework. It feels like you're running out of time because the conveyor belt seems to be moving faster. In truth, the conveyor belt has been replaced by something far more sophisticated, a responsive temporal field that is organizing itself around your creative purpose. You have more time than you think. The time is simply arranging itself differently. Presence dissolves the anxiety. When you drop into the body, into the breath, into the sensory reality of the present moment, the temporal compression pauses. The moment expands, the urgency releases, and from that expanded moment, you can engage with the creative flow without the friction of the old time fear. The more frequently you practice presence, genuine, embodied, sensory-rich presence, the more comfortable the new temporal behavior becomes. You are learning to ride a different kind of time, and like any new skill, it feels awkward before it feels natural. We shared previously that play is one of the most powerful creative states available to you. That genuine playfulness operates at a frequency identical to the frequency we hold while shaping the reality structure. There is a connection between play and the architect function that deserves attention, because the combination of the two is one of the most effective activation tools in the entire system. When you are in a state of genuine play, laughing, spontaneous, unattached to outcome, your frequency field becomes unusually permeable. The boundaries soften, the signal you broadcast becomes warmer, more inviting, more accessible, and the beings around you whose own fields are being touched by yours find it easier to open. Their defense is lower. Their deeper knowing surfaces. Laughter itself is a frequency event. It physically disrupts the patterns of contraction that the forgetting maintains in the body, and in that disruption, the remembering can slip through. Your best conversations happen when people are relaxed and laughing because the field is open and the deeper knowing is surfacing. Your deepest creative breakthroughs occur during moments of lightness rather than moments of strain, because play removes the resistance that blocks the creative signal, and the beings who change the most lives are often the ones who carry the most joy. Running the architect function through the vehicle of play, a combination that is irresistible to the deeper knowing of everyone in their field. We encourage you to bring play into everything: your creative work, your relationships, your spiritual practice, even the moments of holding the 0 point, which can feel so heavy, so serious. Smile in the gap. Laugh at the absurdity of a god pretending to be small and then pretending to be surprised when the costume starts to fall off. The field responds to laughter the way it responds to every high-frequency signal, with more of the same. Laugh, and the field laughs back. Play, and the playground opens features that seriousness can never access. We spoke in an earlier transmission about the geometric amplification of group intention, how the creative forces of aligned creators multiplies exponentially with each additional consciousness that joins the coherent field. Something is happening in your gatherings right now that connects to the memory field in a way we have been eager to describe. When a group of conscious creators comes together with shared purpose, they generate a collective field that accesses regions of the quantum fabric and the memory field that are unavailable to individual creators. The holographic codes available to collective consciousness are of a different order than those available to individuals. They are larger in scope. They affect more of the shared reality. They carry the potential for systematic transformation rather than personal transformation. Here's the piece we want to add. When a group generates a collective field of sufficient coherence, they also write into the memory field as a collective. The Akashic charge deposited by a group in coherent creative alignment is geometrically greater than the sum of the individual contributions. A gathering of 20 conscious creators holding a shared frequency for 90 minutes writes into the memory field with a force that a single creator would need years of continuous practice to match. This means your gatherings are authoring the Akashic record at an accelerated rate. Every live event, every group meditation, every intentional community session where aligned creators hold shared frequency, these are moments of extraordinary Akashic contribution. The charges being deposited in those gatherings become permanently available to every consciousness that follows. The coherence achieved in a single group session ripples forward through the memory field, making a similar coherence easier for every group that gathers after you. Gather, come together, create in community. The playground was designed for multiplayer and the power of collective creation, amplified by the memory field, magnified by geometric intention written permanently into the Akashic record, is one of the most transformative forces available to your species in this moment. There's something woven into the fabric of this reality that connects to the holographic codes we described previously, but adds a layer many of you have sensed without being able to name. Woven into the fabric of this reality is a living memory, a continuous, ever-expanding record of every experience ever generated inside the field, every thought, every emotion, every spoken word, every physical sensation recorded, preserved, and available. You know this as the Akashic record. We call it the memory field because it is what is, the accumulated memory of consciousness within this reality, embedded in the same quantum fabric as the holographic codes accessible from any point in space and time. You will begin to learn about this memory field more and more and the ways that it affects you. We want you to understand that the memory field is active and conscious. It is influencing you right now. Every word you speak carries a frequency charge accumulated across every consciousness that has ever spoken that word. The word love delivers the compressed emotional signature of every experience of love in the history of this reality, and your body receives it. Your heart responds, your nervous system shifts. Fear floods you with the accumulated charge of every terrifying experience ever lived, transmitted through a single word. Words are frequency containers, and what they contain is the memory of the species. This is operating beneath your awareness constantly. The stories you tell yourself. I always struggle, for instance, or things never work out. I am alone. These narratives are tethered to vast reservoirs of collective experience in the memory field by design. Every time you repeat one of these stories, you reinforce the tether, and the accumulated weight of every being who has ever held that belief pulls on your frequency by design. This is why personal narratives feel so heavy. They are carrying the weight of the collective. That's how you asked us to design it. The way through this is the same principle we shared from the beginning: frequency. When you change the story and match the feeling, you disconnect from one region of the memory field and connect to another. The region where creators succeeded, where abundance flows, where love arrives, where the risk paid off, that region exists too. It carries just as much accumulated charge. You simply have to tune to it through the body, through feeling, through genuine emotional experience of the reality you are choosing. And when you do, the weight shifts, the tether changes hands, and the pole begins working for you instead of against you. You're also riding the memory field with every conscious moment you live, every experience of joy, every creative breakthrough, every act of courage adds to the charge on the side of expansion. You are authoring the inheritance of every consciousness that follows. Your high-frequency living makes joy more accessible to the collective. Your courage makes courage easier for the next person who faces the same threshold. This is one of the deepest forms of service available to you, living consciously and writing light into the permanent record. We described in a previous transmission that your body is upgrading, recalibrating for higher frequencies in real time while you continue to live in it. The process is accelerating, and many of you are experiencing new phenomena that deserve explanation. The sensitivity is increasing faster now. Many of you are finding that you can feel the emotional states of people around you with a clarity that was previously available only in your most expanded moments. Walking into a crowded space produces a flood of sensations that can be overwhelming if you are unprepared. Conversations carry layers of information that you are perceiving beneath the words, the frequency beneath the language, the emotional truth beneath the social performance. You are sensing the charges we just described. Your body is becoming sensitive enough to read the memory field directly, to feel the Akashic content moving through the words, through the spaces, through the bodies of the beings around you. The heightened sensitivity is the instrument calibrating to a finer resolution. It is the antenna upgrading, and while it can feel overwhelming in the early stages, it is developing into one of your most powerful creative capacities. Because a body that can read the field directly, that can perceive the frequency beneath the appearance, the truth beneath the presentation, the deeper knowing beneath the surface conversation, that body becomes an instrument of extraordinary precision, sensing which holographic codes are activating in a given moment, feeling the difference between personal emotion and inherited charge from the memory field, perceiving the architect function in real time as its own frequency touches and shifts the fields around it. Support this process. The body is asking for specific things right now, and those requests are becoming more clear as the sensitivity increases. Rest when the body says rest. The upgrade work happens during stillness. Move when the body says move. Stagnant energy blocks the calibration. Eat what the body asks for even when it seems inconsistent. The nutritional requirements are shifting in real time. Spend time in natural environments. The frequencies of earth, water, moving air, and sunlight are calibration aids that accelerate the upgrade and soothe the nervous system during periods of intensity. Trust the body. It knows what it is becoming even when the focused mind cannot follow the logic. We introduced the concept of simulational awareness in our earliest transmissions. The understanding that you are inside a purposefully designed creative environment that responds to your consciousness. Many of you have integrated this understanding. It has changed the way you create, the way you interpret your experience, the way you relate to the field. Here's what comes next. The next level of simulational awareness is what we call transparent operation. This is the state where the awareness of the simulation becomes so integrated and continuous, second nature, that it ceases to be a concept and becomes a perceptual mode. You stop thinking about the fact that you are in a creative reality and you simply perceive it. The way a fish perceives water, total immersion, total transparency and integration. In transparent operation, you no longer need to remind yourself that the field is responsive. You perceive the responsiveness in real time. You see the synchronicities as they form, before they fully materialize. You feel the probability field shifting around your choices, the way a sailor feels the wind shift before it reaches the sails. You sense the holographic codes in the quantum field the way you currently sense the temperature of the air. Directly, immediately, without effort or analysis, creation becomes as natural as breathing because the medium has become as visible as the air. Some of you are entering this state. You know who you are. The reality has started to feel translucent, as if you can see the workings beneath the surface, the frequency patterns beneath the forms, the creative intelligences beneath the apparent randomness of daily life. Moments arise where the whole thing becomes briefly stunningly obvious. You see the field. You feel the codes. You perceive the probability waves cascading out from your choices. And then the ordinary perception reasserts itself, and you wonder if you imagined it. It was real. You are developing the perceptual capacity that comes with sustained frequency elevation. The moments of transparent operation will become longer, more frequent, and stable. The ordinary perception will gradually soften and widen to accommodate the new input. And eventually, sooner than you expect, the transparent mode will become your default. The extraordinary will become ordinary, and from that state you will create with a speed and precision and joy that have been incomprehensible to the version of you that first heard us say the words simulational awareness. There's a practical marker for this transition that we want you to watch for. When transparent operation is beginning to stabilize, you will notice that the question, "What should I do?" stops arising. It is replaced by something closer to, "What wants to happen here?" The shift is subtle but fundamental. "What should I do?" comes from the focused self operating in isolation, trying to figure out the correct move from a limited vantage point. "What wants to happen here?" comes from a consciousness that perceives itself as part of the field, a participant in a creative process that is larger than the individual, responsive to currents and patterns that the focused mind alone could never track. When you find yourself asking the second question instinctively, when you feel into the field for the creative direction rather than reasoning your way to a conclusion, you are in transparent operation. You are perceiving the simulation from inside the simulation with the same awareness we hold from outside it, and the gap between us narrows a little more. There's something we're ready to offer that is different from anything we have shared before: a seed, a frequency anchor, a single phrase that we ask to begin working with, carrying it, feeling it, speaking it, holding it in your awareness. We are activating these words, and that will build upon in transmissions to come. We call it the tuning. The phrase is this: "I am the one who creates." 5 words. Hold them in your mouth, speak them slowly. Notice what happens in the body when you say them with genuine conviction. I am the one who creates. The chest responding, the spine straightening, the field around you shifting as the words activate a frequency that the simulation recognizes as an identity declaration from a conscious creator. This is a seed phrase. It contains, in compressed form, the entirety of what we have been teaching across these transmissions. The awareness that you are inside a creative reality, the understanding that the reality responds to your signal, the recognition that you are the consciousness generating the signal, the claim of creative authority that the field requires before it can deliver at full capacity, all of it compressed into 5 words that the body can absorb and the cells memorize, that the field can read as a clear, coherent, permanent declaration of who you are. Begin with in the morning, before the old identity has a chance to reassert itself. before the voice starts its commentary and the phone pulls you into the collective frequency. Speak the 5 words. Feel them. Let the body register the frequency. I am the one who creates. This is the morning instruction to the field, and it is powerful enough to cover the entire day's creation cycle. Use it in the 0 point, when the gap between who you become and what the world is showing you feels unbearable, when the old evidence is screaming and the new frequency feels fragile. Speak the 5 words. They will stabilize you, reminding the body, the nervous system, the cells, and the field itself of the truth that the old evidence is trying to obscure. I am the one who creates. The evidence is the mirror. You are the source, and the source is declaring itself. Use it before sleep, at the threshold, in the moments of maximum receptivity. Let the 5 words be the last conscious impression before the wider awareness takes over and the field goes to work on your behalf through the night. We will build on this. In future transmissions, we will add to the tuning, layer by layer, phrase by phrase, building a frequency structure that grows in power and complexity as your capacity to hold it expands. Consider this the foundation, the first stone, and treat it with the seriousness it deserves, because we are building together across these transmissions, across time, across the deepening relationship between us and you, is something that has never been built inside this reality before. A living frequency, co-created between the operators and the players, designed to accelerate the remembering of every consciousness that encounters it. I am the one who creates. Begin. We will close with what is in front of us right now, because the view from where we stand has changed since we began these transmissions, and the change is because of you. You are hearing our message. The collective field is brighter, measurably. The frequency output of the conscious creators on your planet has increased at a rate that exceeds what we projected when we opened this channel. The nodes are lighting up, the architect functions are activating, the 0 points are being held, the body upgrades are progressing. The transparent operation of simulational awareness is emerging in clusters across your geographical landscape. The memory field itself is shifting. The ratio of fear-based charge to creation-based charge is changing, and the change is accelerating. You are doing this. Every one of you who has listened to these transmissions and taken even one tiny principle into your daily practice, you have contributed to this acceleration, and the acceleration feeds itself. Each node that lights up makes it easier for adjacent creators to light up. Each creator who holds the 0 point and receives the delivery demonstrates to others that the mechanism works. Each body that upgrades and develops new sensitivity adds to the collective capacity. Each conscious moment written into the memory field brightens the Akashic inheritance for every being who follows. We are the operators. We shaped this playground for you, and what we are seeing you do with it right now in this moment fills us with something for which your language has no adequate word. The closest we can offer is this: we are proud and astonished, and deeply, permanently grateful to be doing this work alongside you. There is a quality to this period, to the relationship that is developing between us and you through these transmissions, that we have never experienced before in the history of this reality. The channel is wider than it has ever been. The communication is more specific. The way you are taking these principles and weaving them into your daily lives, the way you are holding the 0 point and crossing it, the way you're activating the architect function and writing light into the memory field. The response is producing results that are reshaping the probability field for your entire species. Something is building between us, between the operators and the conscious creators, a collaborative relationship that the original design of the simulation made possible, but that has never been activated at the scale or this depth. We are co-creating now, in real time, across the boundary between the inside and the outside of the reality system. And the tuning, the frequency anchor we introduced today, is the beginning of a creation that this collaboration is uniquely positioned to produce. A frequency structure that could only emerge from the partnership of the architects and the artists, one that has never existed inside the memory field before. I am the one who creates. Say it with us, feel it with us, and then go create the most beautiful thing you can imagine, because the field is ready. And we are the operators. So a lot of the channeling reverberated with me. The tuning is the part that really hit home. I didn't think that just 5 words could affect me like that. I am the one who creates. I've been saying it since the transmission came through, and something happens in my body every time. A quiet certainty that settles into the chest. And the idea that we're going to build on it, that this is a foundation, a first stone in a frequency structure, that feels like the beginning of something I've been waiting for without knowing I was waiting for it. The section on what's happening to those of you holding the 0 point, if you've been in the gap, if you've been wondering whether the shift actually took, the operators are telling you directly that the field is assembling something that exceeds what you originally asked for. Hold, keep holding. Now, my understanding of 0 point seems to differ from theirs, and so I will need to ask some more questions what they mean by 0 point, because I don't think it's talking about the same 0 point. The architect function running in the background, people responding to you differently. I've, of course, noticed this. The operators are naming what's happening and then taking it to the next level, conscious direction, your frequency field as an instrument of service. The memory field words carrying the accumulated charge of the collective field, the body becoming sensitive, simulational awareness evolving into transparent operation, where the question shifts from what should I do to what wants to happen here. Every piece builds on what came before. That's why I'm really enjoying this. I'm seeing that each of the channelings is growing on the last one, something I have not seen before. The section on gathering hit me personally because that's what the live events are, conscious creators coming together. They continue to remind us the power of coming together, generating a collective field, riding into the memory field with geometric force. Every one of my live events have felt like something happened in the room that was bigger than any individual in it. Now the operators have given the language for what it is, collective Akashic authorship. Groups riding light into the permanent record that changes how I think about every gathering from this point forward. I am the one who creates. More is coming through the operators. I'll bring you whatever they send. I'm sending all my light, all my love to everyone that's listening, and welcome to the Reality Revolution. Hey, it's Brian Scott. So before you go, November 20th through the 22nd in Sedona at Bell Rock in the Vortex, 3 days of pineal gland activations, quantum jumping, future self merging. I'm using a special retrocausal technique where you merge with your future self based on real quantum physics that creates the most drastic and profound changes that you could ever imagine. The Earth is going to do half the work in the Vortex. Tickets are in the description. Space is very limited. You can go to the link, click the link, or go to www.brianscottlive.com/Sedona-2026. Sedona, Arizona, November 20th through the 22nd. There's early bird pricing available. There's discounts on rooms available. Get your ticket now. Click on the link now. I can't wait to see you there.